topple, the press feels strong.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
So when you're here and you're stuck, and when you come up here, that feels stronger. Yeah. Because I think your adjustment when you come up like this,
I'm getting a better hand. Yeah.
And then you press down. That feels stronger to me than just going straight into a press.
I think so too.
Okay. Sweet.
Yep. Remember this right here. Hold this one. Pinch your like squeeze your core. Yeah, yes.
Good adjustment.
I'm getting wet, Max.
Sorry,
You're moistening me.
I'll leave. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
No, stay. Please.
You okay? Yeah. Okay.
So, teach me some stuff.
All right. So hook. You can do wrist to wrist. You can do a high hook, low hook.
You get all that. You pretty much have everything that you need if your wrist is all the way here.
Yeah.
You just start putting on the side pressure,
now,
the back
when you
pressure.
hook,
If you can't pin this guy here,
to the person,
come
or
back,
you want
change
to get out
directions,
of
and
the
just
person.
pin him over there.
So let's go slow, and I'll show you. So here,
The least
so
resistance,
now
you'll just
I'm
find
nice and tight.
as soon as you
wanna
find
tight
those
your hook.
angles, like you'll just feel
So
so
right
good
here,
where
so
you
get
are,
tight.
you'll just start
Just like
attacking
tight.
where he don't
Yep.
feel good.
And then what you want to do here is you either want to drag back
Okay.
and open the person up, or if you think you have enough side pressure, just go straight sideways. So I would do lat drag hook. So you're here, now take this elbow and go to this corner and just open me up. And drop everything. Yep. Just like that.
Basically, I want
Literally
you,
just like
I want
that.
to get you pulling like
And
to the
there's
left
also
with
like
your right,
deep hooks,
which is that like
there's
hard
like
drag
there's
back
high
hook,
hooks, there's
all
high
that
hook,
pressure
up,
dragging
there's so
back.
many hooking.
So, if you're gripping
get
up, how do you
this here,
grip up to shoot
But
into
instead
it?
of focusing
So
on
if I'm
side
going
or
to
anything
top
like that, you're
roller,
just dragging
I will
backwards
take
and
these
kind
two
of like
fingers
leaning.
and I'll grip down
Your core is
low
tight
on
and
their
everything,
wrist,
and you're
I'll be
close to
like
the table,
this.
and you're just
So I'll grip
leaning
a little lower,
backwards. Yeah.
but if I'm going against the
Letting that
hooker
go.
and I know they are, I'll grip higher because I like to high hook
Yeah.
more.
There you go.
But
Now,
if I
yes. Now just tip
like I said,
sideways.
if I'm going against
Yes.
like a top
That.
roller, I'll grip
Let's do that
lower,
two, three more
lower
times.
here, because it stops their pronation just a little bit, and that I'm
And
Is
then
that,
less
yeah,
sideways,
because
just
roll,
keep
they have to roll
like
on more
more backwards.
and my fingers are stronger than my wrists. So,
Yes.
on my left at least, my right's different.
Sideways. Good. Good.
Make sure you stay tight. Yep. Now drop your weight, drop your weight. Yeah. That feels really good. Like actually.
Reach on.
Yep. Yep. So that hook drag. Since you're a bigger guy, you can use your weight to your advantage.
I feel like I've always intuitively thought that.
Take a
the
breather
idea of
now.
using the weight to my advantage.
That's the one thing that I'm probably gonna have to scream to you the
Like
most
pressing,
in your first
that's why
tournament.
Jerry is so good at it. Because
Breathe,
all his
John!
fucking weight on it.
Everything
Or
but
like
breathe.
hook pressing, you're here, or
It's gonna be a lot of
hook
that.
cup, or hook drag, sorry. Oh, you're here, and then you just drag everything, but
I got
you drop your weight into it, you know?
Okay, so let's say you hook like defensively. What would a defensive hook look like? How do you take it back to center?
So, there's a couple things here. Stamina could be a big role into this, or you can just either power through them, or you can drag them out and then go.
Okay.
Do you want to pull the straps at all, or do you want to pull out of the straps?
into them and then go? So, whatever you feel more comfortable, essentially.
We will get you
Drag hook is usually the
learning
ideal.
what the strap is all about.
Drag hook, and then, so let's say you have me here. So let's say I'm here, right?
Yep.
So I would either drag
Strap,
hook,
you're always going to want to maintain
go, or if I'm
your hand and
feeling
wrist.
like I want to
Because
blow
if
up my
you have
elbow
it like
today,
this,
then
when
I'll
they
just
tighten the strap down, it's going to tighten you pretty much stuck
Or
into a hook, right?
you can just
so you just want to
endurance,
kind of keep your
hold
hand
them out
up and
here,
straight.
just
You don't have to
till
get
they're
all
tired.
aggressive
Try and
like
wait
some
for them to
guys
go.
get like
Yep.
that.
Just
but
like they're
kinda
tired,
keep
they're
your
tired.
hand
You
up
can
like
watch them,
that.
see if they're going to surge
And
again.
you always
You
want the
can catch
strap
them right
low.
before the
If they ever
surge.
ask
You
high
can
or
go.
low, always
So,
tell them low.
ideally,
Because it'll
to
anchor more of your
start,
like your hand to your
drag
elbow because you have a
or
bigger
drag
lever.
hook. So let's
So
say
you're
I'm in a
gonna want more
defensive position here.
The actual
Give me
connection to your
everything.
lat
I'm
through your
holding ya.
hand and
So I'd
wrist,
be
like
here.
it's just gonna anchor you more
Here,
Yep.
a bit better than if you
and
had
then I would
a high position. Because a high position, I even feel, cuts off some of the circulation to your wrist. If it pinches around, like right around that wrist bone, you know, it kind of like it even limits function. I think of your.
So are you a hooker with both your hands then? Or do you like
I hook left. I only hook left and I hit fast left, and then my right is a trying to top
You got
roll.
a mega tall arm.
Right hand, top roll right hand, and then I hook right hand. So.
Where are you
Let's
most
try and work
comfortable,
that
top
to the
rolling?
left, yeah.
Okay. I'll just kind of let you get in your position, just square up a bit. Yep. Yep, feet position look good. Everything looks pretty dang good, man. Okay, go ahead.
Stay tight. Use that weight to your advantage. That feels strong. Whatever the hell you're doing right there feels really good.
Okay,
Now
the one
drop
thing
all your
with
weight.
the lever that big,
Yep.
I'd probably wait maybe a couple more months to start working on your press until you really develop your elbows up to like, I mean, I'm sure they feel pretty good now, but those who have really long forearms like us, pressing, we almost need to be like so far on
Don't
top
get wet.
for the pressure to be like strong, right?
Hey, I don't
Where the
complain.
match, like, see where you went in with your press, I was pretty much pinned, like before the press happened, right?
Yeah.
So your pressure here isn't going to be all that strong unless your elbow is way back at the pad,
I'm getting there.
because then you have more of your shoulder on top of your hand.
Okay.
Otherwise, could you imagine trying to press your shoulder when your hand's taller than, I mean, it just doesn't really work, especially if I just put pressure into your shoulder.
Yeah.
Like your press is like, to where if your elbow is further back, it's more of a hammer, you know, and you can kind of just, like an actual tricep press, right? But it's something I don't teach the newer dudes right away because it can really be sore on your elbows, right? Easy to mess stuff up.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I want you to just really work on wrist cup and just dragging back. Yep, like that. That pressure there. And then if you get to there, dude, the pin will just happen, right? So if you get all of this back here, nobody is going to be able to just be like, Todd Hutchings, you know, it's just not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So basically, if you're just working on wrist cup and keeping all your gaps tight until you start to go sideways, okay? And I just want to kind of feel out where you're going, and I'll kind of go from there, okay? Sounds good. Okay, so careful with that pressure, because that's the scary pressure, right? I always want to feel you cupping and pulling. Yep. Even if I'm holding you up, I still want to feel that pressure. And breathing all the time. Elbow off the table. Yep, there you go.
Use that weight to your
So
advantage.
here's the thing. Come back up. You're a tall guy, so you're gonna actually want to create kind of a wider base to where your hip is staying tight to the table, and you're really not changing levels doing this number. You'll be doing it more so through leaning and like kind of like pendulum them back, or you know what I mean? Because if you actually drop levels down like this, you're immediately creating a disadvantaged lever. You want to be, I mean, unless your shoulder and all that can handle all that pressure from you just dropping down, you're so susceptible to getting blasted sideways or chopped down on, to where I'd rather have you using more of it to stay tighter and just fully locked in, and then using your, as like a, you know, you're prying into the table instead of dropping down like that, right?
Yeah.
It's really weird in the beginning, but once you get used to it, you'll feel so much stronger because you're using everything to kind of stay connected to the table. Okay. I'll let you press a bit, but I just don't want you to feel, you know, like you're running out of options if that's where you're at.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just have trouble keeping my wrist committed. I'm still working on getting that good and strong.
Oh, okay. So if you stay in this position, just stay there and get a good 10 count breathing. Just going as basic. This thing's always got to be ready to go off the table because that'll stop your progression that way. And then instead of pushing down with your hand, just literally stay tight to the table. This is where the hip needs to stay all the way tight, and now you're just like pulling back, but you're leaning back, leaning. Yep, but nope, stay tight. Yeah, there you go. So I have to hold on to you, otherwise you're gonna fall over.
Yeah.
That's the goal. You're gonna get used to it where you're pulling all the way back, and if that dude lets go, dude, you're going for a ride. And that means that you're actually pulling with commitment instead of like getting ready to do some weirdo pressing stuff. And that's it's scary because you're still really new, and even seasoned guys, shoulder and elbow and those injuries, they're the worst.
Yep.
Just focus on pulling and pulling all the way back to you this way. And literally, if you just keep going this way, the match will just happen, right? You don't even have to worry about a pin line or anything. You're just trying to pull towards you with a little bit of angle because you can't pin a guy in the center.
Yep.
Okay, elbow off that table. There you go. It's gonna get annoying, but you'll definitely this will be good for you. Okay. Yep. Pry up in
So
there.
another thing I want to work on.
Lean back. Less.
I feel like I
right
have
there.
problems
Just breathe.
activating back pressure
Constant
efficiently.
pressure. Constant.
I feel like intuitively, even when I'm trying to top roll, it's like my body just wants to go right to the side.
Let's work
What
on
do you
just
like?
cupping.
Notice you're really gonna
and
suck
I'm gonna
in
pull.
with that hook.
I'm gonna kind of get into a position right here,
Are you
right?
like
And I
focusing on
want you to
activating
just work
the
on
lat? Or
pulling
are you
straight
keeping it
back.
all tight?
Okay.
Are you coming forward and
Like
sucking
with
in
that
like this?
position right there that you have, I literally
So
want
one
you to just
thing that
work
helps
pulling
me
straight back.
activate
I'm
my
gonna
lat
kind of just
is
hold,
I would
trying to
come
hold right here,
in,
and I want you to
I'd
just
do
work
this,
on going like
I'd
this.
flex my lat,
Okay.
and I'd
You're gonna
plan
be
everything.
working-
So I know my
working on that
lat is
motion
flexed,
with
I know my pec
straight
is
back
flexed, so I
pressure.
know everything is going to be.
Because I feel like this is going to get
Another
you
thing
really
is
good
I
right
literally,
center of
like,
the
when I
table
warm
and
up,
working
I
on your
feel
beginning startup pressure.
that
Instead of worrying about side
pressure.
pressure,
Yeah.
you're going to worry about just
feel
getting here.
that pressure
Okay.
in here.
But don't let,
It also
try to
helps
not,
you move
try not to
your
let this open up before you go
shoulders.
backwards, right?
Feel that pressure. Yep.
That's better, way better.
Yep.
But stay there as long as you can. Constant pressure.
I feel your back pressure until you get about here,
Yeah.
and then you want to go sideways.
Right.
Stay there.
So just,
More.
uh,
Keep going. You can do a jab.
I need, here, just go for it. Let me
More. Breathe.
now fall that way. Yeah, see,
This
just like
is-
that. You
you're gonna be sore after this
So
one.
but
But it's going to be good, man.
like what Joe said to your brother, fall back. Literally, just fall back. And if I let go, you.
Don't ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're gonna
if you
fall
know
back.
that
So
you
think
can
of it
beat a
like that.
dude's hook
But I'm
that way,
obviously
do
not
it.
gonna let you go.
But you
But-
always want your knuckles aiming up, right? With a little bit of wrist up like that. Don't pay attention to
Now
what
get
I'm
close to
doing
your
because
hand.
the
Come
dude's
back
never
up,
going to
get
let you
close to
get
your
that. But this is what I want you to do.
Yep.
Okay, right there. We're going to get one more. Constant pressure, and then we can strap off. Okay? Go. Yep. Breathe. Wrist up. Nice. Yes. Right there, breathe. Make sure your elbow goes
Literally, like
left. No, this one.
you're here.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if
yeah.
I let go, you're falling. Like
Yeah.
I've had matches like that where
It'll take a bit,
I'm
but
here
you're
and I'm
gonna-
hooking somebody.
You're going to
And I
connect the
start
dots quick,
dragging,
man.
and I go, and then they just let go, and I literally like fall back. Like you see it before. Like, I damn near
People fall off
die.
the table all the time.
Or like if I'm hitting really fast to get into the strap, like right-handed or something, like if I'm in a press, I'll go hard and I'll literally like jump that way.
nice.
I'll,
Yeah.
I'll
Compared to
fall,
normal.
literally like just pushing so hard to get out of it, or I'm.
It's
I mean, it
nice
takes a
and
long
cold
time.
Yeah.
You know, to
Normally it's
learn all
super
that
gross and
stuff.
hot and sweaty in here, which is really, really
But
nice.
like I said, use your weight to your advantage. Literally
Those
fall
help you
back,
keep it slight.
like
Yes.
take all that weight. A lot of the heavy guys, when they're top rolling, they're hooking something like that, they'll really use all their weight to get down.
You just pull right around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get the thinner one?
Yeah, I don't like that one.
It's right there, dude.
No, this one. Which one? The thinner one? Yeah, those thinner ones are, I mean, they're thinner, but they're not the exact material that I like the most.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Albert's got the ones
I didn't mean to offend you.
You're canceled.
You can't.
I think they're, I don't know, I don't think they're going to succeed, but they're really trying to cancel Dave. Chappelle.
Oh yeah.
They're
really,
they're
dude.
trying hard, dude.
It's so stupid.
Why would he do?
Well, it's been his goal for like ever in comedy is to expose the fact that Hollywood's okay with him making fun of white people making fun of black people, but a black person can't make fun of trans or anything else. It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
But he's played a white person making fun of black people. He's done everything on there, and it's like if you actually pay attention and listen to what he's saying, dude, he's like master of his craft.
Oh yeah, he's a genius.
He's an absolute master of his craft, and Hollywood doesn't like it. They don't like it at all. Okay.
Yep.
adjustment every time.
That was a lot. That was nearly everything. I was coming up to commit to more shoulder because I was like, I don't really have much more. Okay.
What the fuck? I need to adjust my top.
Get up. Yeah, there you go. Anyone else, I wouldn't let it go.
Yep. It's your chance to press me. Holy fuck!
Your top roll feels
Terrible.
No, dude. Remember when you didn't even have one?
Yeah.
I need to work on that buckle. See how hard it was to get that thing off?
I'm gonna pull some left or use this shot.
No, it's not shot. How's yours feeling? Because we have Jeb who only pulls left. So we just have to make sure one of us holds.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, so
I'll be here.
you good to go?
Probably.
Okay, so if you want to pull him left,
I still need a few minutes, a little bit.
on your left or on both arms.
a little
Okay, right. Sean, do you want to pull or you need a little breather? Okay, we'll pull left hand. Sure. So I haven't pulled you left.
Oh no, that's cool.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I gotta work my left, dude.
Whole pocket of them. Dude.
Gotta get that strap working.
Shh. We'll talk about what it's not final yet.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
true.
coming.
Yep.
Tomorrow. You gonna get a hold of him tomorrow?
I hope so.
I will. I got his private line. Big match. I did find out when the classic or the NatFit Classic is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the weekend after our tournament, so we could go down to that one after.
Woo.
Because it's going to be Cody Merritt and Ryan Espy.
Ooh.
Or no, it's the week before. It's the week before.
Oh.
Well, you wouldn't pull it anyways, even if it was the week after, because you'd be. Say if you did get your super match that you want, and then we go to NatFit the week after, you're not gonna pull. Because you'd be all, either sore from pulling the tournament and super match, or if it was the week after, either scenario you wouldn't pull it because you'd either be saving yourself for your match or you'd be burnt up from already having your match.
Fair enough.
But if you want to go, I will be going. I told Brian that I was going to go.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Keep that pressure, but fall. That pressure, when you go down like that, felt really good until you let up, okay? So, like, when you're here, you're
Make sure your elbow's going to pass that too.
remember, get that wide stance. Like,
Come back up a little bit. Center it.
like literally, like you're here, and you come down, you're like, you want to get long.
Feet are
Like, when you're in a
open,
winning
so your
position
feet
here, like, you start out here, you start pretty
stand up a
wide,
little bit taller if you can.
and then you get really, really far, because you want to basically, like, squat down.
Elbow placement.
Think of it like
And then
wrestling. Like, you want to,
Back.
like, you're
side.
here, like, you're thinking they're about to, like, shoot, Yeah. You want to get really low, and, like, you want to basically sprawl in a way, so you want to, like, get nice and low,
Breathe right there.
And I like that. I tried to make an analogy you'd get.
Keep going back. Keep going back.
I
I
appreciate
try
it,
to
Max.
connect. Yep. Yep. That pressure right there. Keep it. Feels good. Right there. Yep.
Come back up. Breathe.
That pressure right there. It's almost. Maybe it was almost a pinky, but we won't talk about it.
Transition here in the coming weeks and months from pulling hard down there to breathing the whole time, coming back up to center, catching your breath, and then starting to go on some defense and offense from there. But it's all going to be about controlled breathing and keeping that pressure as tight as you can from here to where
Once
you're ready
you
to come back up and like
get me to your center,
catch some breaths
past the
while
center line,
someone's working
to the
the
winning
offense
position
now. And
feels
you're like,
strong. Once you
okay, I
fall
couldn't pin them down there before, but now
into the
maybe
winning
just
position,
lean
that
a
makes
little bit
sense.
more.
So
and
once you drop
then you
your
go back
weight,
on the offensive
here, also keep this shoulder above
and then the mat.
the table.
It's all about
Because once
constant
you're here,
pressure.
they can
'Cause,
tell you to get back
like,
up.
we're not known for
If you
being
don't foul.
a lot of us aren't.
Or even more.
Different special.
I don't
We're not really
know.
known for being the flashers, the super massive
Here.
strong dudes.
Here.
We're known for being constant
This is
pressure.
exception. This
to
is
make
good.
corrections.
Once you're down here,
Stop the match. And we.
I like what you're doing with your hand though, because you're like exemplifying like the rainbow motion, or whatever you want to call
all
it.
of our
Of
gaps
like
are
a
always tight.
yeah.
We're breathing. We're not.
Because it's like
going
you're
low.
suddenly you're kind of trying to rainbow it over.
It's all about control.
so think about it like
Right? Just control.
get your cup.
The only
So
thing that I want you to
Get your
really
cup.
focus on today,
and then you just want to go like you.
so from right
Think
off
of
the rip,
taking
wrist cup back. So,
This here
Yep.
going against their pinky.
Yep.
So think of it. You want to cup against my pinky.
Wrist cup.
Cup against
Yep.
my pinky.
Pull,
Yep.
pull, pull.
But also keep that wrist, because if you dump too much, I can actually
Come up,
get
breathe.
out of that.
Okay. Yes.
So keep it like that.
Just breathe.
Also
Breathe.
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 Okay. So
Good. Yep. One more.
Yep.
And get you breathing. Okay. Obvious. Yep. Pull back. Pull back. Pull back. Yep. Come up. Close this gap. Yep.
keep that wrist.
Take some pictures of you guys now. Actually, no, I'll pull you more right-handed.
Alright.
Feels great.
You want to pull straps?
Yes,
Okay.
I need a master class on how these
can-
bad boys work.
A lot of it is just really connecting your hand to your
It's also
like
nice
your lat and
What you're saying, from the strap, you can actually connect your
You're really
bone
connecting a lot
to the
of that.
strap. So you can actually pull more with your bone rather than your tendons and muscle. It's pretty nice.
Roman cracked me up. He's strapping me up. He's like, wrist a little bit this way, and I was like, which way? He goes, straight. I was like, oh, you got it.
Straight. Whichever way you were doing before, I don't care. Just now I want it straight. I love that, dude.
He's such a. Watching him pull is freaky.
It is. He's ninja. He's a literal ninja.
Oh, and he looks like so, like gentle. And then
Yeah.
you see his arms, but as soon as he arm wrestles, he just looks ripped.
Okay, so you have a really big.
You're not
thumb.
the only one.
Do you do any like barbell movements or anything like that?
Well, I work out with a fat grip a lot, and I used to do lots of grip training stuff.
Okay, because that makes sense. But you always want like pressure from this grip here when they're tightening it
Yes.
down, because otherwise they're going to tighten it down with your hand. You're going to be pulling
Got
a
it.
hook.
Got
Okay? So just always make sure when they tighten it down that you're protecting from there.
Right.
And it'll get this strap a little bit tighter too. Is that good for you? Or do
Yeah.
you want tighter?
No, that feels good.
Okay. Good.
But even what you just told me there, that made more sense of fighting flat a little bit.
Yeah, you.
Because
That's really
otherwise,
all-
I felt like before when I've done the strap, I'm immediately starting with my hand kind of.
Yeah, don't do that. You always want to have your hand kind of like your thumb and your pronation. If you're gonna pull, if you're gonna hook, that's actually when they get tightened like this. People are happy when that happens. But I would prefer to have my pronation at least somewhat protected through my thumb and index finger,
Right.
Like through the setup
Right.
through there. Otherwise, if you start with, you're starting in a hook, and now you got to basically can opener to get back to
Right. Just
Where
to,
you wanted to start.
Yeah, neutral.
So yeah, it's pretty much that. What are you doing? Selfie?
No, I'm just
Get out of here,
watching
bro.
them with taking dick pics.
Let's say we're in the strap.
Okay, so what I exactly look like is kind of not important, because they should never really let you get that. But what I want you to start with is pretty much straight wrist, little bit of wrist cup.
Yep.
But this dude's probably gonna be fighting back, so you're both are gonna kind of be
Yeah.
like kind of turned out and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just want you to get used to like starting where you should be, and then I'll kind of work and fight back from there. But in the beginning, I want you to just kind of You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always want your knuckles kind of up, aiming up in the sky. And, you know, your first move is always just wrist cup. You know, wrist cup and then go from there. If it's back pressure or if you're, you know, whatever move you're setting up. But if you have a hand height and you wrist cup, your options are endless. Okay, yep. So I'm just going to let you kind of feel out where you want to go. Go ahead. Wrist cup. Yeah, see, if you get there, it's good, like he can't do anything from
Okay,
there.
okay.
Now, don't
And I
ever,
was giving up the cup or something.
yeah,
I don't
you
know.
were kind of focused on just flat hand, just kind of like
Yeah.
like just pushing me down versus if
Actually,
you're here and you're
and then
like,
rolling over
it'll,
like that.
It'll just happen. Like your roll will literally just start happening
If you
because
focus on the cup.
yeah, because if you're always trying to get this here and then you're going here, well, the natural motion of your hand and arm mechanics is to just pronate.
Right.
It's going to happen. That's why just always be cupping. Always be cupping. Yes, right there. Okay. Go. Yep, right there. Now breathe. Be ready to come back up. Okay, you ready? Now you go back down there. Yep. Don't open up. Don't open up too much. Remember, if you're dropping levels, I want you to be dragging back here,
Right.
and be going here instead of. The more you drop down here and you get to here, like go back into that position. And now I'm gonna have you be really fully prepared to this, but go drop down into those levels, and get tight there. Now, if you're pulling, no, even if you're tight down there, right, and you're like, say you're here, but you're pulling really tight. Now, if I'm tight here and I just pull hard this way, the rest
Danger
of
zone.
yeah.
Danger zone.
Right, so that's where I always want people to be as tall as they can, and before they drop levels like down this way here, that would be like you're already at the pin line, like right here, and then you just start dropping levels to finish the pin. But I would rather have you be as tall as you can and close up all your gaps and get back to here, and now when you go down, you're always hipping in,
Don't worry about it.
pinning them off, but you're never breaking the seal to you to the table. Because as soon as you drop levels, you're
Breaking
like,
the seal.
yeah, man.
I never thought of that.
Your gaps are
The hip gap starts.
yeah, everything's just you're not tight with your core. Then. You've abandoned your core at that point, and I don't want you to do that. I want you to focus on just right to you, and then literally just like as if you're tight here, and then you're dragging and you're pronating because you guys aren't really like formal hookers to where you want to be pulling in here, and I don't want you to really damage your shoulders. It's really easy in the beginning. So focusing on the drag and just keeping all your gaps tight will build such a good foundation for you guys. It really will. Look at Eric and Seth.
All that way, like you said.
I try and pound it into the head. Constant pressure and just here.
So, or just stay tight.
Then
So
come
keep
back
your
up
hip there, and then just stay
reset, get
tight.
here again.
Once you open up, you're
Get a couple breaths, come back
So-
down.
You want to stay nice
I
and
mean,
tight.
it's literally just rinse,
get the
repeat,
top
rinse,
roll.
repeat.
And then you want
All
to
about breathing,
drag
staying tight.
to this corner,
Everything.
try to open me up, and then
So we'll get a couple
fall
more and
to
then we can
that
switch to
corner.
left if you want.
Yeah.
I just really want you to focus on breathing.
So think about it like this.
staying
You're just
tight as
be
you
nice
can
and loose. Be nice
with
and
your
loose.
gaps. Like say the
Here,
gaps are
top roll.
once you get your
I'm
feet
here in this
placement, you have
corner,
a hip gap, right?
here in this corner, and I
Now your
drop.
elbow gap to your
But I'm
chest.
tight.
That's always
You
I
really
always try to
want
pull back here
your
during
stomach
when the
and
match
your
starts.
chest.
You can't set up like that
Basically
because you're going to be
scrape the
susceptible to
end.
getting pressed right off the rip.
Usually when I pull
So
after
that's the
tournaments, I
second
get
gap,
like
right? The elbow to your
bruises,
chest,
like
and then
literally like just
hand to your shoulder.
fat bruise because I'm
So
like
as long as you're
the
gonna have
table
your
and
hip
I'm
tight here,
tight as
here,
fuck, you know?
and then here, like
So
thinking
you want it
how hard would
as high
after
as
the
you
match
can.
starts and you're here and you're breathing super tight, dude. Like you're not losing.
Right.
You're not losing from there.
As long as you're
Or
tight.
if you do, it's because you didn't have enough. That's the easiest correction to make. Get stronger.
Yeah.
You did nothing wrong fundamentally. Like, and once you get to that point, you're gonna be like, oh, man, now it's easy. Now I just have to get stronger. Really?
Yeah.
You know.
love him.
So just remember, cup, pull back, and before you start to go sideways, you know it's more of a lean game, and that's where that thing how is. Yeah, there you go. Yes, right there. That's it. And then once you get the
keep that pressure down.
idea of your hip in there, you're
alright?
just gonna have to make sure that that always passes when you go and
loaded
make
up
the
a lot.
finish.
Yeah.
Because if it stays on the table,
that pressure
your
when
brother,
you're going down like
I'm gonna
that
have to
felt extremely
give him some
strong.
nudges for that because when he goes sideways, then he runs into that. It's like, bro, you gotta move that.
It's
so
so
then
scary,
you can actually move. You know, it's good for you know that
when we're stuck here,
that
keep
defensive
that
position. But
rotation
if you're gonna
and
go, you
climb,
gotta be ready to
keep that
just get
rotation.
around it.
So we're like, so here, I'm no pressure, no pressure. We're here, You're holding me. You're holding me.
Yes, right there.
Climb,
Breathe.
climb,
Stay there.
climb.
Breathe. Come back up a
Keep
little bit.
rotating.
Keep that gap tight.
Yep.
Yep. Make sure your elbow goes past though. Now pull. That's it. Yeah, there you go. Yes.
That felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
man.
felt a big difference there.
It's
actually.
different.
Whoa.
And now pull.
I think
Even
it does
more.
make
Stay
sense, though,
stay
yeah.
more.
Okay.
Before you go all the way
Sweet.
down there, I'm gonna
That's all I
hold
care
you up,
about.
and I want you
Make
to
sure it
breathe
makes
more
sense.
at like
Okay.
say like this position, right, to where you're really fighting to get to that almost sweet spot, right?
Yep.
Get some good breaths in there, and you'll build a good connection there. Okay, go ahead.
What's up, Steve?
Right there, no, breathe right there. Make sure your arm's gonna pass them. Yep, right, stay right there and breathe. Make sure your hips tight to the table. Okay, now hold. Yep. Good. Feels different?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so,
I had to wipe out that one.
oh yeah.
Sorry.
Dude, I'm glad you guys made it up.
Me too.
Super glad you guys. How's it feeling? A little sore?
Wait a minute.
Take a little bit, you know, if you need an extra minute or two. Take the minute or two if you need the rest. Have you guys pulled pretty much, have you pulled either of those guys yet? Okay, we could do a little bit of that if you guys want. I just want to definitely be in here if you guys are pulling each other. Because they're really new too. They're not quite as new as you, but this is awesome that you guys actually are.
My right arm might be toast. I don't know.
No.
Feeling a little gassed out.
Yeah, just take a breather on your right, and even if your left is feeling a little tight right now, just get some water though. You guys should get some water. I'll get some water for you guys.
Right on. Thank you.
Thank you. He's just trying to seduce you guys. What?
He's pulling out all the stops.
That's what we do here.
We normally we used to cook and a bunch of stuff, man. Some big ones.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh.
It's a weird. I'm pretty sure arm wrestling has taught me that I am a sadomasochist and I actually just like pain.
That is it.
You know what I mean? Like
I learned in wrestling.
I lay awake at night and my elbows are just writhing. Like yes,
Yes, I know it's perfect.
I'm gaining strength.
Yes.
I can feel it.
Ooh, I don't like that.
They're just completely unable to move. It's a satisfying feeling.
Ooh, yeah. Some popping in there. Right in the elbow.
Thank you very much.
Niceness.
Yes. Actually, I just pulled some last year after weight.
Actually, just take it easy on me.
I was actually just, for my rest, I was petting Mustard. Yeah, he slobbered all over me.
Really easy. There is chalk on there.
What are you guys all weighing in at?
What weighing in at?
Yeah.
I'm 160, probably 168 right now. He's probably like what 185, 180 ish.
183 this morning.
Both you guys are looking jacked as shit for your weight.
People always seem to think that I look bigger than I am, and it's like, see, if you guys saw my legs, you'd be like, so if you had smaller legs, you'd be like, walking around 154, and I'm like, yes, I would. I am a very long, tall, 165 guy, and if
Your forearms look really long,
they're very long.
especially for a guy in your weight class.
Yeah, I can really kind of pull with 200-pound dudes, and my hands and my arms they'll still match up. And,
Yeah, you got pretty big hands too. Actually.
They're not thick. They're pretty thin, but I have a really long.
You got long fingers.
Yeah, really long and wide hands. So when I pronate and rotate, I can create a really long, lever to scoop around.
I think I weighed in at 295
I
last.
was gonna say 260, 270, but you're 6'4", 6'3".
Like 6'6" with shoes on.
Oh gosh, man,
I
I always measure people lower because on paper I've always said that I'm 5'10", but I am taller than that. I just don't know how tall. I'd say 6 foot probably with shoes.
I would say so. Just looking at you,
6 foot, really
sounds
close,
good,
really
because
close.
I'm like a 6'3" dude, and that's when I first stopped by looking at you.
Technically, I'm like 6'5 and a half, but with shoes on, it's 6'6".
Well, if you're 6'5", you say you're as tall as ever you want to be. Don't-
Pretty much, yeah.
Unless some 6'8" guy comes along, you're fine.
Ready?
Nice.
Oh, don't do that. Oh, don't do that. Definitely take some time off that inner elbow. Sideways ain't working.
I was like, maybe I can do it. I was like, he's gonna think I'm totally doing it.
Yep. Feels good.
And my table endurance is coming back, man.
Finger wouldn't close.
Well, that's on the account of you doing a workout today with
Oh,
your hand
yeah.
and wrist, dipshit. You're like, I mean, it's good. You're gonna make more gains, but that's why you're not gonna feel as strong at practice.
Yeah.
I hope the copyright doesn't mess with the video.
I flash him.
There you go.
Show him what it's about. So what's he meant?
You were getting some good
Oh,
glute activation.
thanks for tuning in, guys. Check that out. You all want it. I love it. Right-handed. Anyone?
Yep.
Okay. Ping pong this one. I never did ask you, like, so do you want to just focus on left and not get a right-handed match? I mean, if he wants to pull somebody else right-handed, like Andrew told me, likely. I think that's a good matchup right-handed.
No, he'd smoke me, right?
Well, I mean, I think likely would be a different, better matchup, you know?
Of course.
But then it would also let you just literally focus on,
Just left.
you know, priorities, you know? So it's I just wanted to run it by you before I make the initial call and, you know, start the, you know.
I don't care about my right as much.
I knew. I just wanted to give you options as to what you wanted to do. Because March is, I mean, dude, we're going to try and go big.
If I may ask, who is the super match opponent? Or is that secret? Is that
We
confidential?
can't say.
Okay, okay.
We're live
That's
right
fair.
now.
We're live.
That's fair.
We're live right now. But I will tell you. I just don't want to say it live because I have not talked to said individual, and I don't want him to find out like through this. Because I want to ask him like personally and see exactly, you know, everything.
Right.
Setting that up, that nasty Ben Shiro killer. Dude, that it just doesn't
Went
make
to Ben?
sense. Yeah. Like you rolled through Ben, like that's the first you rolling him was the first time I think I'd ever seen him get rolled. Like that.
Oh, like low-handed?
Yeah. That's why it was just strange. Especially because like you weren't really low-handed at the time. So it was like it was really cool. The first time it happened. The second time I was like, sort of necessary. And he's got your number.
Yep. Oh, I let up the finger pressure and I feel he gets some more. Sorry, you just go fast.
No, you're good.
Why is right hand so much harder?
actually thought I had a good bite on it.
Holy fuck. My press is kind of nutty.
It's coming back though.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
your hook.
This is coming back. I can't wait till somebody goes for that and they just bounce off and they're like, no, I have everything.
It's like, huh. Wow. He doesn't just top roll.
No hook, dude, zero hook.
Yep. Oh my god, what the fuck?
That was like the first bit of side I threw. I don't like using that because that is what puts a lot of torque. See, when you're down here and you're pulling back like this, as soon as you push down here,
That's probably why my shit's out of socket, I feel like.
well, dude, it's because any side or like really like down drive is driven through like the top of your bicep leading into your shoulder. And mine is weak.
Yeah.
One more
I'm getting tired just watching you guys.
for the YouTubes. Yeah, but this is why we can pull. I don't want to like offend other
That's
training.
why our endurance is very good.
This is why we go to other training like practices, and the practice will like be over, and we're just like, "You guys want to pull more?" Like, and it's more like just it's more so just us. That's why super matches. It's hard to get people to agree to super matches with pretty much anyone who trains with us, or at least they're reluctant to just agree.
I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna this. I think I'll help you out. We're all knocked out. Yep. Good. That's the thing that I was trying to work on.
When you dip down like that, instead of dragging, no, pry. Like just drive, post straight up from there. But pry, you're not pry. I want to, yes.
That? Oh, okay.
It needs to be more of a pendulum. Otherwise, you're just like kind of relying on muscle for your pronator.
Okay.
Where if you actually drive down and up.
Okay.
Like, okay, so feel the difference here. Hold on. Feel me trying to like pronate right here. Now feel the difference. Like I'm literally just using my elbow as like a. You're just
So like
pushing
push and
down.
rise.
Yes.
Okay.
You need to push down, but be driving up. So you're like flexing your tricep into your elbow down, and then rotating.
Okay. That's the thing that I wanted to try. I wanted to push forward and kind of go like this.
It's like a weirdo down and up at the same time.
Okay.
You have it. It's just you're kind of focusing more on your pronator and letting
Not
go.
enough
Of,
on the.
well, you're just getting movement up here, so where you feel like you kind of don't need that, but you do need that. You need that more than you need that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna work on just clamping.
Okay.
I'll drive up, yep. No. I don't want that press. You're feeling good, Max. Good work, dude. Good work. Left-handed? Okay, yeah.
I'm always gonna say yes, pulling. Do you guys want to go and I can watch?
Actually, I'm gonna take a
I
2-minute breather shot.
left.
If that's okay,
Left,
I'm
left,
gonna
left.
take a 2-minute breather, get some water, and I'm gonna check the chat quick and make sure there's nothing crazy going on. I gotta take a lead.
Jesus Christ, this towel's wet.
He's working, bro.
Joel, Joel, I'm down. He's huge. He's huge. Holy.
Overrated.
Yes, Tim. Thanks, guys, for watching. All right. Sugar.
Do you want to pull with Jeb a little bit, Sean, to get a different feel on a super crazy arm? Okay, good. I'm going to take some pictures of you guys then, if that's cool.
See the next place I got here? You want to play sides? No, I'm good here.
Dude, isn't it though? Isn't it?
What the fuck do I do?
Okay, so just make sure when you're starting with him that you're gonna have to start further up on a guy up on the pad like that, but just be conscious of that coming off, right? And then when you start, just make sure you guys are, your wrist is, you're not taking too terribly much on, right? Don't cover his thumb, right? Come down off his thumb knuckle. You guys got to see both thumbs. I don't want you to do a ready go or anything, but I just want you to get comfortable starting with, not just bulldogging, right? Everything looks pretty well good right there. Just straighten out just a tiny bit, and then when you ease into it, he has a ton of leather, so like you're gonna need to, guys like that, you're gonna hold on more with your fingers, right, and just focus on just containing with back pressure and stuff like that. So if you guys just want to feel it out slow in the beginning, kind of get an idea, that's probably the best route.
Holy fuck.
Yes, perfect, good. And then even if you feel like you're getting the upper hand, just kind of slow down and maybe let him work from a position from there.
Yep.
And just make sure you're always staying square. Good. There you go. Good.
Yep. Make sure you stay tight.
Yep, stay tight, Jeb. Stay taller. Yep. Now, okay, Sean, maybe work on like pulling in a hook a little bit, you guys. Just not like a super hook, but just kind of working a little bit wrist to wrist. Or if it, like instead of really rotating all the way through, just rotate to like halfway or something, so that he gets good work, right? Because if you're, I know it's really new to you still, but like just like crunching his wrist like all the way over, it's gonna leave him not many option of places to go, right? So just like kind of work like maybe half rotation or not quite as much, right? Basically just be less strong. Jeb's got so much lever. Breathe, Sean, breathe. You ain't breathing.
Make sure you stay tight as well.
Stay square. There you go, Jeb. Stay square, Jeb. Good work.
I'm breathing through my nose.
Oh, okay, good. I was like,
I'm actually
okay,
taking
good.
breaths in.
I was like, when I I don't see your cheeks moving. I'm like, is he breathing?
No, I've been
Is he alive?
I've been trying to practice breathing the
Good.
whole time.
Well,
not
that's
taking
good.
Big breaths.
It is better for you if you can breathe through your
It
nose.
is. It is. So you got me. Whew. Still gonna tell you to breathe though. Even if I don't know,
That's just helpful advice.
it is. Well, it's just nice to have a guy actually screaming for you, you know, like telling you the basics, like, dude,
It helped me. It helped
be
me.
first, be first. Don't forget to breathe. Keep all your gaps tight, you know, do what you know, get what you want. Just little things. It keeps you, you know, remembering to do what you're doing.
He's got a bicep on him.
Sean is really good foundation.
Oh, you good?
Yeah.
You okay?
Spooky.
Yeah, try and stay square, you guys. If you can, like,
Oh man, I felt the pop though. I need a minute. No.
Sorry about that.
Not your fault. Just doing what you're supposed to.
yeah, basically in that position, like, maybe, I don't know, oh, you were pressing, yeah. See, that's why I kind of tell people to really focus on just pulling in the beginning, because pressing, even if you're pressing or if the other dude's like feeling that pressure is way different down onto your elbow.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, that's why I always just kind of, if you really focus on working on, like, literally just cupping and pulling back to you, all that other stuff will come in eventually, but all of your tendons in your shoulder and everything's going to have the miles put on it that it needs, right? For you to actually put that torque. Because it's ridiculous how much torque we actually put on. It's really nuts.
What would you estimate in just your average, let's say a 30-second war between two pros? How much tonnage is going on those muscles?
A lot, like actual, like,
Does it hurt?
energy or like
Yeah.
pound put
I don't
down.
have, like,
Yeah.
elbow pain. It's just the tennis.
Oh, okay.
We're talking thousands.
Right,
Of
ton-
pounds,
like
because I mean, it's
tons,
like
right? I was like,
100 pounds every, like one surge could be 100 pounds.
Right.
You know, it's nuts. Or if a dude's like jumping zinc, where it's literally just like constant pressure, him imposing his will on you. I mean, that's like him you're just holding like 150 pound static load the whole time, just like literally. It might dip down into like 120, 110, 100 or whatever as the match goes on, but it's nuts. Like if you actually think about how much pressure is laid down in a match, it's pretty
It's gotta
wild.
be nuts.
It's pretty wild. It's definitely pretty wild. Take a minute, Sean, if your elbow is hurt.
I think I need a sec too.
We got an ice pack if you need one or if you
Nah,
want
you're
one.
right.
Okay, good.
I'll just go right next time and let this one rest for a minute.
Yeah, I would let it rest, and if it feels weird when you start pulling, I would probably just call it a night with your left for now. Okay, so we have nice. Well, I don't know. I guess we can keep pulling if Max, you want to pull, or do you want to pull more left?
Yeah, I can do
or
some
right?
left. I can do
Okay,
some left work.
let's do some left. Pulling the straps left-handed.
When you get your arm fixed and you come back and start arm wrestling right, you're gonna need a lot of catch up.
Yeah.
Are you able to like to weight train or anything? with
Yeah,
that?
I've been training pretty heavy with it. It's just I got no.
We've
pressure
been doing
this
band
time.
work with it. I try and tap
I got
with weights on
nothing.
it.
I can get
Yeah.
all squared. I can feel the pressure all the way down to my like. It feels like I'm pushing really hard. It just gets lost in my elbow.
Damn.
Don't
But
tell anyone I'm strong.
I
though.
popped
Just
my
video that,
entire
okay?
UCL, so I'm not surprised.
The right people don't.
I
Like,
think
what'd you do?
everybody knows. He knows
Yeah.
a little bit about you.
It's
This is
kind
when
of
I
hard.
hyperextended
It's
my
kind of hard to
elbow.
stand
like I was
over.
describing
You're kind of an
earlier.
iconic. You got the look to you. You got the shades.
Yeah, my wrist was on the
Remember?
here. I was wrestling with my coach.
Protect
He
that
chopped
gap.
my elbow,
Your thumb
my
and your
wrist
index
stayed
finger.
here.
So I'm going to
My
tighten it down
elbow
again.
went down to
But
the mat.
you were just letting it
I was
kind of
letting it
don't do
go.
that.
I wasn't fighting for it.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
always remember. I call it the crab claw, right? Because you're just
I
trying to
tore
close.
both of them,
You can't
actually, but this
you
one
can't
tore
close
me
like
about
that,
70%
but you're just
of
trying
the
to
way.
do like kind of like this
So with
pressure.
enough time
So when the
in
ref
rehab, this
straightens
one
you out
won't
and
go
tightens
on.
everything down,
Yeah.
so you're kind of you already have
gotta
it versus
get- I
like
gotta get the
them
time
you
to
just
do
letting
it.
it go.
Otherwise, then you're
And then
starting-
then
I
you're
have to
like
talk to
you're
my surgeon
then
about
you have to
taking
like
ligaments
fight
on
to
my leg
straighten
just
out
to get
before the
my wrist,
match.
'cause I have a really
It's just
strong wrist. I'm
little
not
things, right? Just little things.
at least comparatively.
Okay. Stance looks really good. It always looks really good. So
I even
that's
have a
good.
stronger crush
And then
with
just
my
stand
right
up as
still,
tall as you can.
Even though I haven't
Yep.
been using it.
Get on the table and into the table. Like you want, I want it. Like you want to be like.
Like, still
in the spool.
Basically, you want to have bruises on your hips and stuff at the end of the
that was my
tournament
plan.
because
was
you're
probably
pushing into
after
the table when
spring
you're pulling
tournament too.
off, like you're pendulum them.
Yep.
Like
Probably
you're
try and
just
get it
leaning
scheduled
really
couple
hard
weeks
into
after
it.
that.
You're a senior?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And I just moved from a double A school to a single A school.
So it's
More cup. Yep.
Yeah.
Now rotate.
And I already
Drag,
beat all
drag.
the double A kids in my bracket.
Breathe.
Right.
But that was
Right there.
pre-injury too.
Remember, make sure your elbow's
Then
gonna
I
always
did
go
miss
back.
about,
Okay.
I'd say the last third of
Yes.
the 11th grade season.
And even if you have a little bit of
I'm also
this,
probably
when
the
you're like,
strongest
say,
and
go
leanest
down,
I've
down,
ever
down, down, down here, and now
Like, I'm
when you
down
go to
50
lean,
pounds
when you
less.
lean way back, there's your roll.
Then roll it out.
That's your roll.
Right
Okay.
now I weigh
okay.
or 295.
between 285 and 295, depending on the day.
Constant
It's
pressure.
just water
Breathe.
content.
Yep.
Okay.
Now start your drag. Cup. Yeah.
Okay.
And even like
My plan is
even
to
if
get
you're
down
here,
to-
the more cup.
I think I can
Then
get
when you like, it'll
Hopefully
be
down to 242.
like pretty much right
I'd go
in
for
here,
the
and then you're
220
like
if I had
sprinkling
time,
on
but I
that
thought I could
cupping
make it,
pressure,
but
right? Because you
last
can
time
kind of
I was
feel when you start to
220,
go
I
from
was
there
like
to
11.
there.
What
Yeah.
about when guys slide their elbow forward when they're in that position?
When you're in that
Like, I'm
position,
heavyweight,
it's to
like,
shut the
tight
door on them coming back, like them to get you out of that. Like, okay, so if I'm hooking a guy right
All
here,
4 years of
if I'm hooking the guy right here, right,
Yep.
and he goes sideways, my arm is gonna go this way, right? Whereas if we're hooking here and then I slide my arm this way, now him to push sideways, he's pushing into my whole arm and elbow joint,
That
right?
makes so much sense.
Right? So then you can do that. It's just whether or not you have the ability and the power to impose that on that guy when you're there. And the same thing works with like if you're up at the front of the pad, right? And you're just like going here, and you can't really do much. Well, why don't you just pull back? You know, pull back and attack his bicep. Like I'll show you a little bit of that pressure when we're pulling this time.
Okay.
But it's gonna tire you real quick. So I need you to breathe the whole time, constant pressure. Okay?
My injury, I had a perfect record, technically.
Hey,
Get in position, and then I'm gonna risk up, come back up center.
my junior year.
But I'd say so far, my best year probably been 10th grade year. I went 15,
See,
14.
this is attacking his brachioradialis because he's got a pronator. Now if I turn your palm up,
I got
which I'm gonna try and do in the easiest way to come up.
fourth because I lost.
And now, instead of going sideways this way, a guy can attack just through your bicep.
I feel it now. Like
It's literally just you're just dragging down, like you're kind of scooting back, you're sheer, and then
I'd
you're
like to if I
dragging
can.
and prying down. Because really, if you
plan on
can't beat
committing
him
to
sideways,
armwrestling
maybe
really
his
hard, but I don't
biceps
know.
weak, right? Maybe he has crazy strong
Especially right
elbows,
now, the
and he's
sports
defending
are like-
against that side pressure.
Like baseball,
But his
with the
bicep
30s,
just goes
40s, 50s era. It's at that
like
point
it
where
just
everybody's
opens,
starting to
right?
make it. It's getting
You just gotta test it out, figure out where there's weak
Like, it's
links.
really
Where
starting to
if you're
come back.
pressing
This
it
is a
or
great
not
time
pressing,
to
if
be
you're
able to do
posting, and all of a sudden you feel like his hand goes back, and then you go sideways and there's like no movement. Well, he's probably got a really good strong elbow, right? Just you're just basically using the four movements, right? This is you're rising, you're posting pressure, cupping, you're chopping,
I feel
you're
like I
rotating.
have better,
You know, all of those
significantly more
is just
dexterity
basically how you
than I
arm
do.
wrestle.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. Once you guys figure out like
It's all connected better.
how to train really efficiently off the table, like to where your move is ingrained into your head and you're training it through like a load pin or really anything. But it's just cool once
You wrestle.
to see you guys make that
middle school
make
and
that
my
connection.
freshman year of high school, and then I fully committed.
I'm gonna try and just commit to that cup again.
Not what I've been my other choice too, but my school did no cool.
I went to St. Cloud State over here for swimming. Not good. I went.
Yes,
my
okay, come
freshman
back
year,
up,
then
and I want to see you
quit.
push more into the table.
Okay.
It's crazy cardio
Like
swimming.
more of
Especially in the
this.
More of the- okay.
more of like you're hipped into it hard, and as you're coming like down instead of just dropping levels.
I'm rolling the rest.
Yep, like you're actually you're just pulling this way off the table. Like it's gonna look more.
I quit.
You're gonna stay tighter here. Your tricep will stay tighter to your
wrestling is
chest.
fun. It's a
Like
good
it'll stay
community
tucked
too.
into your like your almost your armpit pocket or like your right underneath your pec. And that's a lot of your lat connection. Rows help the most with that. Dumbbell rows when you're actually doing them like to your back, not like pulling them up this way, but
Right.
until you're actually like coming this
Yeah,
way
like
with
that.
them. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
They're like a bodybuilding row almost, I think, because
Yeah.
it's actually works arm wrestling movements really good.
It's gonna be a fun drive home.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking exhausted.
More risk up, less pronation. Okay, now pry off the table. Stay tight on the table. Good. Good. I'm gonna hold you up and get some. I want you to breathe. Okay. I'm not gonna let you move too much. Okay. Okay, go.
Yeah, this arm doesn't like side pressure.
Just stick to back pressure and going back. Sorry, man.
No, I was just trying to do something I haven't been pressed. My fault.
So if you're gonna press like that, make sure you're always coming at me over the top. No. Like pushing your shoulder on top of my head. Because I kind of fed with you. Because if I were to press back up into that and you're kind of just driving this way, this takes that's danger zone. Right, so if you're gonna press, always make sure that as you're pressing, you're pulling back, like you're pec decking, right? Like you're literally pec decking underneath you to push it all down versus trying to actually push it this way. It's all. I don't want you guys to really work on that too terribly much because I want you guys to put some heavy miles on your elbows and shoulders before you, in proper form, before you really work on that.
Well, I can feel like when I've trained with some of the other guys, my press would be strong, but the next day it would hurt.
Yeah, right.
Bad.
That's kind of
right in here, right up in that like upper tricep area.
And that's pretty much like bone soreness, not exactly muscle soreness. It's bone
I
soreness.
felt like my bone broke the first day we did that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
Well, that's not just
super
me.
duper.
After a day
duper.
where guys are holding me and letting me press, I feel beat up.
Yep. I'm just like barely recovered from last Monday.
Yeah,
Barely.
see, you might want to. Well, no, that's actually pretty well perfect. You might just have to pour on a little bit of more like ice and heat alternating, and then a little bit more band work, like in the evening or in the morning even. Just that might be the thing that
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might have to take just one Monday off just to get an extra, 6 days of good healing, and then come
Well,
right
I
back
will
to
be
it.
missing next Monday because I'm leaving for Florida on Wednesday.
Well,
so.
there you go.
Wednesday,
Nice.
so.
Well, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
You need that extra healing.
I'm not gonna do any workouts at all the whole week. I'm just gonna
Enjoy it. Relax, dude. Just bring a band, like a red band with you for your hotel room if you get bored. That's the only thing that I would do. No weights, no nothing.
We rented like a house, so it's pretty badass.
Oh,
Sweet.
that's pretty nice. Super nice. I'm gonna get some water and then I'll pull right-handed and we'll do shell like too.
Me. That one's not broken yet.
Have you pulled with him right-handed yet?
I did earlier, but we can go if you'd like to. Or you want Joe?
It don't matter. Whoever you want to pull with. I just want to make sure you get some good pulls in with your right. I'm gonna get some chocolate.
It's whatever you want.
We're on a wax paper.
Let me take wax.
Max, are you 420 friendly?
I am friendly, but I don't do it.
That's too
But
funny.
I don't mind it at all.
Super strong. Actually, I wanted to take pictures. That's why. I was like, I haven't got.
Can I get a bump in real quick?
No, I'm just kidding.
You guys. I'll get a picture of you guys left handed for sure. I'll be really mad.
I got an out angle.
I'll get a picture.
I can't see my thumb.
Shoulder.
Shoulder. Center.
Oh man.
Yep. Drop your weight.
Awesome. You guys pull quite a bit then?
Yeah, for a long time it was just Jeb and I.
So if you're gonna press, make sure that you have. See that right there is. It's a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. Because in the beginning, if you're literally just getting right here, like this, getting twisted open on you is really dangerous, right? To where you have such a tall lever, you really should be using like just your ability. Yeah, that pressure. That pressure, pretty much like Devon Larratt pulls very much. Like elbow driven, right? Like elbow driven, and you're just yes, man, that's good. And then just make sure that stays tight.
Where should I start.
There you go.
I start
Doing good.
when I
Keep
topple.
it
I start about the middle to the
Get
top,
pumped up.
and then I cup,
And then it's
I drive
yeah,
all the way
there you
back.
go.
And I
Nice.
cup,
Nice.
and I go straight to the corner.
You said do that again.
Front, cup, and go straight back. Yeah, there you go.
Good.
Yep. You drop your whole weight, just like literally just like that. That was perfect. Please don't kill me.
Good. Good work, man. I'm glad that you guys made the trip. Really, really glad.
Yeah. And, we were kind of double dipping today. We went to Jake Howlett's yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Drag to the right. Drag to the
Yeah,
right. Drag to the right.
I just got back and I was like, Max texted me. He's like, "Are we gonna practice?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to."
I've been wanting to come up and meet you guys for a long time.
You guys can come anytime, and literally, if it works, like a better day works for you guys, any day's work.
That'd be
Like,
sweet.
I mean, more than likely, I'm gonna be home or free, and like, especially now, I'm gonna be training this weirdo more than ever for the upcoming match. And, I mean, regardless of if we get it with the person we wanted to or not, he's gonna get a match. So he's gonna be training a bunch, and we'll be training Eric because that's gonna get him a match as well. So we're gonna be training not exact. I mean, we'll definitely be training on the regular schedules, but there'll be weirdo stuff that we throw in on extra days, and you
Yeah.
guys are more than welcome to come up.
That'd be
I
sweet.
added you to the group, and we'll be posting in there. Like everything is in there. It's like basically just our little locker room, so we can just talk about whatever anyone wants to do, or stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I've seen the guys that you train, and I've seen how good they get, and it's exciting.
I mean, it's
He's just a weird camera guy.
It's not. You guys are putting in the work. I'm literally just giving you direction. You guys are putting in the work. I am not that important on the grand scheme of things. I'm here and I provide you guys a table and a gym to train in, but I'm not putting in your work. I'm not lifting the weights for Max. I'm not doing the table training for Max. I'm not doing any of it for Eric or Seth or Ben. Like, it's just
You didn't like that pressure, did you?
the low end. Low
I did
end.
the little
My hand's
lower.
like, bloop.
I just went. I rose up and I went.
Sprinkles, Max. Sprinkles.
Well, I just did a little.
I know.
That's like a
I know.
magic trick and shit. It's fucked up.
Yeah, that is an interesting the way he gets that hand.
I was like,
So what I did was I low-handed you, but I got up really high on your hand, and then when you started
I
going
feel
that way,
like your,
I rose this way.
one of your
And I
weak points right now is your
still went up
wrist.
just like
I feel like
that.
your
So I
fingers
went
are really
up,
strong,
so
but I
I
feel like
scooted
it's
my
just your
elbow to the
wrist.
front of the pad.
And anyone who has you have a really bigger, much bigger hand. But whenever I feel like my wrist is lacking, I use this.
nothing I can
Okay.
do.
This one is one of my favorite ones. I actually just picked this up at the store today. This is gonna be
That's
really
genius.
nice. It's a dog toy.
That's really smart.
Obviously. But I was
I never
looking at
thought
it
of
and I was
that.
like, I could use it like this, and I could use it for a wrist cup this way through like in between special fingers, to work wrist cup through like the bottom
That's so
half of your hand
smart.
or the top half of your hand, or you can use it for like pronation
Oh, good.
or like posting through like just your top knuckles that way, spin it around, and now you're using it for like supination this way. I mean, it's just little things. You guys got to always be
Smart.
thinking.
I'm gonna go get one of those dog toys. That's
There's
genius.
$1 at the Dollar Tree.
Is that what it is, a
$1.
dog toy?
That's
Dog
awesome.
toy, $1. I got 2 of them.
That's so
Because I'm
smart.
gonna do pull-ups off them.
That's fucking awesome. I need those too.
$1.
Oh, that's genius.
$1. Actually, I'm gonna bring them to the tournament. They're gonna be $29.99.
$50.
Sorry, bitches.
He's gonna
No,
brand
this is
NBC.
what I use literally. If my wrist is feeling trashy, this is what I use. And in very short surges, I probably won't be able to. Probably could. This is only 25 pounds, but like you're doing your wrist cups, but it's just through your bottom half of your hand. But you're not really focusing on your fingers at all, because your fingers are all past. It's literally just working on your
Just
wrist
your
cup.
wrist cup.
Oh, I've been using a lot of my wrist now.
I-
A lot.
Dude, I know.
That's all I really like to use essentially.
This one. Oh, so you don't like mine?
No, I
Get out
do.
of my
No, I
house.
like it. I like yours.
Get out of my
I like
house.
the cone too.
And then even this way, this will work the top half of your index and your thumb ridge through cup, but it's really just working like your literal wrist. Like you'll feel it so hard in this area right here, and the difference is massive from like even. Well, this is a 2 3/8 inch. This is one of my favorite ones. Like when I go on vacation and stuff, I pretty much take this handle and I don't take anything
That's your
else.
go-to.
Yeah, just because I can do almost everything with it. I can cup every which way, top of my hand, bottom of my hand, and I can even, if I want to get like MacGyvery, I'll just pronate through the strap like this.
Okay.
You know, you're not really. It's not really designed for that.
That's
but
cool.
You definitely.
That's
can.
where I struggle with the pronation. As I've had people tell me like my just turning power feels strong, but I'm not getting the how to activate it.
Okay, so here's what you need
Like
to
do
do.
the wrist.
Instead of this or this, what you need to start working on is what I worked on a long time, and that's what built up my it's like can opener strength is what you're talking about.
Yep.
And you need to get a load pin or a strap or anything. This is obviously not a load pin. This is just a strap with a fucking washer on the bottom. And then get a strap like this and start working thumb, like just loop through your thumb, pronation from the ground, palm up all the way like this. Working on basically pronation through your thumb and through your bicep. And then if you're gonna actually, start using more secured, you're gonna put your hand through like this, wrap it around this way, and now you're using it through kind of like your wrist and then the top half.
That's what I need to, because I have a band. I have a purple band like this one, and I'll do pronation work around the thumb with that.
This method here with a towel is probably gonna build your hand up the quickest. Now just grab on, do a glob of it, and now you're just rotating literally through, so there's no pressure on your actual thumb, because if you do too much with the loop around your thumb, you'll get some tendonitis and stuff in your thumb pad area and even on the back of your wrist. A towel literally is one of the best ways to build up your hand and wrist, but it's just finding, like, coming to a practice like this with dudes who aren't going to just throttle your shit to the pad. You'll find out where you're weak, and you'll find out what you need to work on. And not only that, but you won't be trashed and not be able to do anything because you were just doing ready goes with some dude who was like levels above you, and he needed those practice wins, to keep him arm wrestling. He just needed to smash your shit like 10 times. There's guys like that everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Every practice has them, but you just have to. You gotta seek out the right people. Every practice has good people and bad people. It's just like, that guy's bad, don't pull. It's just, everyone deserves a good training group, and that's what I try to tell everyone all the time. Is like, dude, if you're leaving practice wrecked, and you're like, man, I didn't even learn anything. Like, I didn't feel. It's like, dude, you deserve a better training group. There's more people to train with. You might have to drive, but it's worth it.
in the long run.
It's worth it in the long run, man.
Even today, I felt it was different kind of pressure than I felt at the last few practices I've been to. There's different stuff. I'm not as hurt. I'm not as beat up.
It's gonna be more of a constant pressure. I'm not. How many times did I pin you? Not very many, right? I didn't pin you like maybe not even once. How many times did I pin you?
I don't even know if you did a single time. Maybe
I don't
once.
think so. How many times did I pin you? Probably not even once.
I didn't pin any of you.
Yeah,
I
you
pinned
did.
him. Oh, I pinned you. But like the whole idea is it's different, right? Like you guys don't need to be exposed to guys pinning you or throttling your shit. You do need exposure to defensive positions because they're going to happen. They happen to all of us. But Max needs like my 100%.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's going to be a tipping point in the near future where if it's not already there, he would kill me in a tournament ready go. But at a practice, I know enough about Max to where I can kind of stay in spots if I need to like really build up my inner fucking narcissist. Otherwise, like, he's gonna be killing me in the future. Like, same thing with Eric and Seth. There's gonna be a point where, like, if I don't go 100 with them, they're not gonna get as much out of the practice. So I have to, like, that's why I do some of the things with him different than you guys. Obviously, I pulled him a bit different than I pulled with you guys.
Right.
It's what has to be done.
Can we pull left?
Yeah, we can pull left. I'm just gonna shut down the live because I don't know how many people are still listening to me ramble. I don't know if it's that
Let's pull
important.
some left and then
Well, there's
I'm
still
gonna
8
go,
people
'cause I
listening
need-
to me just talk about
Yeah,
nothing.
I need to go to bed.
Hey, let me know if you guys want me to keep going. Otherwise, I'm gonna shut her down if that's cool.
I'll show my tits.
No, he won't.
Okay, I won't.
Live chat, all messages. Here we go.
Donos. Donos and. Well, I mean, age of consent is 16 in Minnesota.
Awesome. Lots of talk. Thanks for all tuning in. Hey. They said keep it going. Yeah, we'll just keep it going then, I guess.
Welcome.
What time do you guys have to take off?
What time is it now? Like 7:30ish?
I don't know for sure. It's probably
7:35.
yeah.
8ish probably.
8ish. Okay,
Yeah.
25. Cool. Well, we'll just keep it going for another 25 then. You want to pull left? You said. Nice, good. 'Cause my
I could pull a little bit right with Sean.
Yeah.
Sean's your name?
Yeah, I think that's my name.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm a little beat up, so I probably want to have a roll out for you, but we can have some fun. Actually, I'm gonna take some time in the middle.
You get right close to them.
Your hand feels strong. I'm just gonna try and just tap it and pull you back a little bit. Sorry.
Stay tight. Just constant pressure. Constant pressure. Don't twist in too much. There you go.
Go ahead.
Sean, one thing that we need to work on with you is when you're finishing, you kind of press up the end. You want to drop your whole body and keep that rotation going.
Instead of like the last, like the pushing, it's not a lot at the end, but it's enough at the end to where if you're here, if you just keep pressure there, the pin will happen versus having to kind of use that. Because as soon as you dip in with your shoulder, that puts that weirdo strain on your arm, and that's where a lot of that pain is coming from, is from when you're pressing or pushing, right, with not having your shoulders square or being behind it. So just remember that it's always about just dragging, cupping, keeping all your gaps super duper tight. And then you don't even have to necessarily pin. You can just hold, and you can just really, really hold and get some good work that way.
Stay tight to your hand.
Always keep your shoulders square and be looking at that hand. Good, good. Keep square, Sean. Keep your square. Keep dragging.
I really like your triangle, your center and everything.
You felt strong right there in the middle.
That was really good work, man.
That was
You're
good.
breathing.
I just can't hold on to him.
Well,
The reason why is because he kept climbing at your fingers in your hand. I was watching him as you guys were fine, you guys were good, and then as soon as he started climbing like up your hand.
What
with
do I
your
do
fingers.
to?
get better there?
Yeah.
Finger pressure. So from there, what you're gonna work is a fatter handle, something like this. Like basically, I bought these from bodybuilding.com. I don't think they have them anymore, but they're just a barbell. You just slip them onto a barbell. But this is what you're gonna work with. So it's gonna be trying to open up through here. He was attacking your fingers through the bottom two fingers.
Yeah, I can feel these ones getting pulled hard.
Yeah, it's really like he's working those, but if you strengthen up these ones here, you won't even have to use these. You'll literally just contain with your bottom two. You'll turn people under with your bottom two fingers. And these fingers will be used for pronation attack. These ones will be used for defense. You'll hold people with your bottom two fingers, and you'll attack with your top two fingers.
That's why when I told you how you stop like a top roller from hooking you, because I'm strong with these two fingers down here, so that's why I clamp really low. Fat grips off Amazon, or just grippers like the iron grips, or like the circular ball that he has.
Where are they?
Oh, the circuit. Oh, you mean my Diana ball?
Yeah, like no. I mean that too, but like your like the one that you squish. Like the,
Oh, the donut?
Yeah, the donut. Sorry,
Your fingers felt strong.
Yeah, these donuts.
Like if you know
can
what to do
use-
with them, you definitely have me.
You could use these here, like the gripper donuts, and use on your bottom two fingers. Use on your top finger. Use just on like your thumb and your index. Like there's tons of different ways to use these things versus even these here.
Yeah,
this
I
is-
do. When I'm at the gym, I do put the grips on my lap pole.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
I do, and then like I have like a bunch of handles I'm using at home. So I have a fucking
It's just
badass home.
the other thing too is, man, like you're still so new. Like you're on a trajectory right now to where you're just gonna start seeing gains and changes in your style because you're finding new things all the time. Like,
So this is fucking weird. So I measured my shit like 6 months ago. So my forearms have grown an inch, and my bicep has shrunk a half an inch.
that makes sense.
What the fuck? What's going on with my bicep?
Because
It's just getting bigger here.
Well, you're using more forearm. A lot of your pulling is
hooking.
a lot of your pulling is forearm driven, post driven versus bicep driven. Because you're not really using a ton of wrist cup this way. You're using more pronation. You're building all of this up. Most people don't use the back half of their forearm unless they're like a carpenter or doing like
Painter or something, yeah.
You're doing work with your hand if you really have a beastie backside of your forearm. Otherwise,
Yeah, man.
yeah, it's just arm wrestling training. Like the correct stuff is always gonna
Over my time?
Yeah,
I'm smacked on the right end.
I'm scared to go left.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
probably
but
wouldn't. I'd ice that baby tonight and just make sure. You know?
It doesn't hurt at all, but I don't want to fucking be injured.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't push anything with it. Definitely wouldn't. You want to pull left? We'll pull this table.
Let's pull some left, and then I'm gonna.
They'll probably get
Order some pizza and I'm gonna leave. Yeah. We'll get a group picture with everyone, and then yeah, we can kind of just.
What are we doing?
We'll
practice.
Yeah, hey, it was cool getting to meet you guys and come down and get the pull.
You guys can come anytime, man. Anytime.
Big fan of your work. Been watching you for a long time.
Thank you, dude.
It's cool to get to meet the man behind the camera.
Yeah.
And he's a good dude.
He's a great dude.
Dude, hearing you at the tournament really hyped me up. Just when you're like, get behind it, Noah, breathe. I was like, yes.
I could see the energy, and I was like, man, he just needs a couple of words of encouragement in the match.
I might not be a very.
As far as anybody can hear anybody, like everybody's so focused. I was like, trying to say hi to people. They were like,
My first
they're in the
tournament, I
zone,
was
man.
shell shocked. I didn't hear anything. I barely heard the refs say go. Second one, I felt like I was more in it. I'm excited for the next one. I think I'll even be more in it.
and this is gonna be my first one.
Nice.
I'm excited for the spring tournament too.
Me too.
What are you weighing at?
165.
Oh, dude, I think you can kill it.
I think if I can make the 242, I can probably.
I'm gonna try to get
at
my
least
weight up to
30.
like 173 or something, so at least I'm a little heavier. It's hard for me to gain weight though. It's so fucking.
You got like a fast metabolism.
Yeah,
like that?
like I burn more fucking calories at night than people burn all day.
Dude, I got the opposite problem. I was a kid, like I was one of those kids who was super, super big. Like by the time I was 12, I was 6'2", 312 pounds.
Jesus.
And and then I grew maybe an inch since then. I stopped growing early.
I stopped growing. I'm like 14
Yeah.
and a half, 15.
You guys are brothers?
Yep.
Yeah. I've gotten bigger and smaller since then, but I haven't gotten any taller or wider.
Yep.
Mine's all the way up to I think 340 this past summer.
I was, before my neck surgery in 2010, I was 206 pounds.
So, yeah,
Like
which for you,
6%.
for you, it'd be big.
Yeah, I was jacked. Like I had a 500-pound squat.
I can tell your trap muscles still look huge. Like you look like the guy
You
who
look
lifted
really
a ton.
defined.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Very well done.
good. No homo.
Thanks, buddy.
Maybe a little.
My whole neck is fused together, so I like can't really do the stuff I used to, all the powerlifting and shit.
That's cool you found this stuff.
Yeah, I needed this in my life.
That's how I feel about it too.
Yeah, it's like, it was life-saving because like I'm used to fucking deadlifting 500 pounds and doing all that, and I can't do it anymore. It's like I just get depressed. So now this like relieves all my depression.
I'm gonna stop.
I had a bicep injury. I used to not powerlifting stuff, but I used to be big into lifting weights. Popped my bicep a couple years ago, and then I gained a
Did it
bunch of
tear
weight.
it?
I had a slight tear right here. Like even when I flex it up, it doesn't get hurt hard right here anymore. Kind of balls up a little bit to the side, but it healed up fine. I didn't have to have surgery on it or anything, but it's never gonna quite be as good as it was.
Right. My whole right side is the reason I had to get surgery is because I'm a tattoo artist.
Okay.
So I own time bomb in Blaine. So I started missing lines. Like my coordination was off and shit. And then like one day I went to the gym and I couldn't even lift 15-pound dumbbell with my right side. This is when I was like 190 pounds. So I was really strong and I'm like, I can't move. So I went to the chiropractor and they cracked me a few times and it came back. I was like, oh fuck, sweet. So then it went away again. Went to chiropractor again and came back. And then finally it was gone. And I couldn't get strong. I lost like 60 pounds of muscle.
Wow.
Sitting around. Doctors had me all fucked up on pain pills and shit.
That makes you not want to eat and shit too.
It was just a fucking nightmare. Depression. Yeah, guys,
I tried to go with my
we're like the
without
highest
using my
rate shop
hand.
with the 50 miles.
You left your hand behind.
I know. I tried to do
that's-
the little
that's awesome.
fucking.
Good side.
We'll have to come by sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
I've always been nervous about tattoos.
Literally.
Like, I want one, but also I want to get something I think I'm gonna like forever.
Yeah. Otherwise, you end up like having a sleeve of shit you hate. I've been getting tattoos since I was 13.
Do you have any like room left on your body? Or you
I have my back's pretty open, and I have a few spots on this one.
Give me that surge. Yep.
That's good.
My daughter works at my shop. She tattoos, and my little my cousin works there. She tattoos. Then I have another artist, Mike, and then I have another girl too.
Right on.
So 5 of us.
What's the name of this dude?
Time Bomb Inc.
Okay.
I want to get a tattoo too, but it's very like specific.
You have it like totally mapped out.
I need an artist. So I'm Russian.
I have no
So-
idea what I want.
I want
Get
like
your logo tattoos out
the
here.
Russian
I do
flag,
want that.
That's fucking dope.
and then it's like transitioning to the American flag.
Everybody's shit.
And then
This
like
shit's dopest.
the American stars are falling down my arm.
It definitely
So it's
looks
like
cool.
Did you draw it out?
I'm Russian,
It's not even mine, to be
Russian
honest.
born, bred, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a
and
font
then American, like
It's literally
continuing
just
my
a
journey
font
in America.
online.
And the stars are falling down.
It's
So
a
my
free
journey
font
here is not
online.
finished yet.
That's sweet.
So
That's why I,
I
don't
like that.
really
You know,
like.
that's like got a whole story arc and everything.
I want.
We're gonna get it trademarked eventually. Probably we should have a long time ago, but it's just
I need
That'd
to
be sick.
I don't know. I definitely think it's time to get a tattoo, bro. Yeah, just on the wiener tip.
I'll get a really exaggerated ruler. It's 12 inches, I swear.
Bro, what am I doing? I can't strap with. Like, I can't do that. I don't know why. I did that. Lock it in. Lock it in.
One thing I did with Ben was I'll try to set it up. I'll see if I can do it on you. Actually, yeah, I feel like I could. It's just in the setup. It's nothing special. It just makes me feel better.
So, like, Max, even the way that you're setting up right now, I've
Wax
seen
pull,
people
guys.
do this, and they start way more on their tricep.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so disconnected and like not strong when I try to start that way.
Like flat like that.
Yeah, there are people who try to get that like.
Yeah.
I know Tim Bresnan is that he kind of has that like high tricep on the pad lat drag style.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not.
Something we can work on.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel the disconnect here, where it's. I feel like maybe my shoulder is somewhere in here. I'm losing my tension.
Well, wouldn't that put you lower on the table though?
It does if you sink down, but it'll keep your hand higher. Depends on like how you're pulling exactly.
Just looking how low I am. Yep.
You guys got like a table and shit.
Yeah.
I looked at the WAF specs or whatever. I got a guy, I know he's a good carpenter, he built me up a table.
I did that too, but then I realized it was $300 worth of lumber, and my guy he said it took him 30 hours of work time building my table. I'm like, so like, I feel bad, but let's like $1,000 fucking dollars.
What the fuck?
I got mine
I
built
could have
up.
bought a fucking nice table like this for $350.
Yep.
God, I fucked
I
up.
was lucky I had all scrap wood that we were able to use.
That looks good.
I am trading tattoo work for it, so I don't have to pay
Nice.
cash.
No! You moved me. That's good. Oh, man, fuck right here.
Man, fuck right hand. I'm just like, hell yeah, right hand. Fuck your left. No, your left and Seth's
go
left
left,
are
too.
they're like the best. They keep my left progressing at a nice rate.
Yeah. I wouldn't be where I would be today without him. Stop it.
Okay. Hit that low hand. If I don't commit to top rolling with you, you will take my hand, just like Seth. That's why when I pull you guys, I pull here. I don't exactly full go for it. I only just stay in a comfort zone, because if I go anywhere else aggressively, I'll get my shit taken.
It's good to know.
Well, it's me just kind of giving you guys the best training possible without me just letting you just shred my shit.
Yeah.
You know, where I do kind of sprinkle, like now, where now I'm just going to literally focus on holding your low hand with my fingers. And it will work me a bit more isolation with you getting access to, you know, a bit more movement versus me just shutting your shit down. Like, that's all I have an option to do.
Yep. Okay. Thanks.
That looks so hard to me.
Oh, it just looks like a fucking top of the can opener.
It looks good. It looks like it right here is gonna hurt.
Shit.
How is he holding this
I
shit?
don't know.
Holy fuck. Wow, that is insane.
Dude, my hook's coming back.
And he's a 154.
I can make it. It's where most of my awards
So you
are
dropped
from.
20 pounds to make
I'll
weight?
drop like, well, okay, so
I dropped 20
the
pounds
week,
next
10
week.
days out, I'll drop like 4 pounds of sugar and salt. And then within the next 5 days, I'll drop another probably 5 pounds of, like, restrict my carbs. And then the day of weigh-ins, I only have to lose like 4 pounds.
Sweet.
So it's like 3 different stages, like right where I cut out my sugar and salt, and then I'm loading water, and then I'll
So you don't dehydrate yourself.
I dehydrate myself at the very, very end,
meat
in like the
lovers.
last 3 hours before I weigh in. So that means I have to
Is that the
dehydrate the
coolest name
least
I've ever
amount
heard
if I
of?
have to,
Meat lovers.
and I don't like to because that's what sucks your power away from
Yeah,
you.
you'll be weak the next day, right?
Yes, it does make you the
Unless you got a nurse on hand and give you an IV.
yeah. That helps a lot. People do it in the big matches. They definitely do it, but most
You
of
could stop at those vitamin places now and they just fucking IV you up with a vitamin bag.
really,
Yeah.
wow,
To hydration, yeah.
that's pretty sick.
You could do it for a hangover. They'll come right over your house and fucking hook you up.
Most all of my awards are at 154. Like I don't have any. Well, I have some medals where I double class and I made 76, but like not a whole lot. This is my most important award that I've ever had. This was in 2019. I pulled the guy who beat me the year before twice, Matt Gordon. He was like the man to beat, and I fucking smashed his
Hell
shit.
yeah.
And that's his $100 bill.
Honestly,
This is his $100 bill that he bet on the match, and I will fucking never spend it. If you're watching it, Matt, it's mine forever, bro.
I think the coolest trophy that he actually has is
The Gorillas are pretty.
That is sick.
It's the Michigan State Championship. Like, if you don't have one, I honestly feel like that is the one that you try as hard as you can to get. Once you get one, I don't really. I mean, it's so hard to keep getting them. So, like, if you kept going to Michigan State's, it's a really big tournament to put expectations like, oh, I got one last year, I'm gonna get one this year. It's like, fuck no, dude. It changes every year, and like, it's just really crazy. But it is a tournament that I always tell everyone you better go to at least once. Same thing with the Arnold Classic. Even if you don't qualify, you should go there at least once.
For the experience.
There's certain tournaments that you need to go to. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We're signing off.
I was very fortunate and lucky to get one.
You have one of those?